Hi everybody. Today we are going to be making one of my kids' favorite cookies. It is a easy, simple, no bake. I'm sure everybody has their own ways of doing it. This is the way we do it in our house. First you are going to take, and I am making a double batch, so everything I am doubling. You need 2 sticks of butter. It does not have to be softened. You're going to put it in your pot. Half of this recipe is done on the stove top. Don't mind the mess on my stove top. It is nasty, I know, but I've been cooking all day. So, all right. 1 cup of butter. You need 3 1/4 cups of sugar. These are a very sweet cookie. There's 3. And 1/4. And then you need 6 tablespoons of good old cocoa. And 6. And you need 1 cup of milk. One cup of moo juice. Any milk will work. Doesn't have to be whole milk. That's just what I prefer. Cup of milk. And we're going to turn this on to a medium heat. And we're going to let this start cooking away. I'm going to throw my milk back in the fridge while we wait for that to start going. Get me a spatula. You're going to want to bring this to a boil and let it boil for 1 full minute. It does take a little bit of time, so try not to be impatient. Trust me, it will be well worth it in the long run. You just want to get your milk, and your chocolate, and your sugar, and your cocoa all combined together really nicely. It's going to make almost like a chocolate paste once you get it all mixed up and it comes together. I've thought about trying to do the non-chocolate version of these for my husband, because he really likes peanut butter. And he's not a huge fan of oatmeal, so I'd have to find something to switch oatmeal out with. But if anybody knows of any recipes similar to this one that don't use oatmeal and that use something else, I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd share it with me. As I said, this is one of my children's, all of my children's favorite cookies. Typically they don't even wait for them to set up before they start eating them. Especially my oldest boy. He really likes these. My youngest does as well, but he can only eat a few at a time before they start bothering his teeth. I'm trying to look into getting some different recipes, to trying different stuff that my family might enjoy. But I have to be careful about what I make because my husband doesn't like oatmeal. I mean, he does. He will eat it if he has to, but for the most part, he's not a huge oatmeal fan. So I just kind of have to try and make things that he actually enjoys. Grab a little whisk for this. There we go. As I said, it does take some time for this to come together, for the butter to melt completely and for it just to come together. So if any of my subscribers or folks that have watched my videos have any of their family favorites that they'd like to share, I'd be all for trying to make them. And while we're waiting for this to come to a boil, I am going to get my peanut butter and oatmeal out and get that ready. I believe my oatmeal is up here in the cupboard underneath, behind everything, and of course short people can't reach. Have to have my cameraman do that for me when he gets a minute. Because you kind of have to work quick with these cookies once you take it off the heat. So it's easier to have everything ready and at your hands so that you can just kind of put it in after it comes off the heat. I use chunky peanut butter. Feel free to use regular peanut butter. That is just what we like. We are getting to that point Alright. Let me get my... Get that one down. I'm sure I'm going to need my other one too, so I will have my son get that for me as soon as we get this off the heat. Whew. You are going to need wax paper for this recipe. So you have something to drop these on. All right. This has been boiling for about a minute now. So we're going to take this off the heat. We're going to bring it over to our countertop. Ow, that is hot. We are going to add 1 cup of peanut butter. I do not measure my peanut butter. I just dump it in. This is a 16-ounce jar, so it is a 2-cup jar. I'm going to use approximately half of it. You want to get that mixed in so it all melts down. And then you are going to add half a teaspoon of salt. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla. As I said, I don't measure these. The peanut butter, the vanilla, I don't measure them. You can. I just don't. I'm just going to keep mixing it. The peanut butter will melt down. We are going to add 6 cups of oatmeal. Yes, I know that seems like a lot of oatmeal. Don't worry, it's not that much. And hopefully I have enough in this container and I don't have to get the other bag down, but we will see. One, 2, 3, woohoo, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I went a little light on that last 2 because I dumped a bunch in there before that, so then you're just going to take and you are going to mix this together until it becomes a soft dough consistency. And as soon as you get it all combined together, you are going to drop them on wax paper. All right, and you want them to still be warm. Like that. You're going to take I use big spoons, big tablespoons. You use whatever you want. Actually, I'm not going to use the big spoons. As soon as I find it, I'm going to use a cookie or an ice cream scooper. Just because it works better. You're just going to drop them onto your wax paper. I make my cookies big, so you don't have to make them this big. You can make them any size you'd like. This is just the size that I do them. Now, once you get them dropped down on your wax paper, you're going to let them cool completely and set up before you eat them, or else they will fall apart. I remember when I was a kid, my dad used to make these for my sisters and I. We would only get them maybe twice a year. And he would always tell us, you can only have one a day because of how much sugar they have in them. But we probably weren't the best children in the world because we'd sneak them. And I'm sure my kids have done the same thing, though I haven't limited them on how many they could have. I just know that my kids absolutely love these cookies. And they usually don't last but a day or two in our house. Because they are a great cookie. All right. And there we go. That is our no-bake cookies. Once they cool, I will show you what they look like inside. And we will talk at you in a little bit. Bye-bye for now.